Here's a hilarious video that's a Breitbart video. It's going to be a leftist asks basically this black guy who has a Make America Great Again hat. They ask, he's reflecting on and he's giving an answer to a previous question in which the question was, when was America great? Because of all the shitty things that America has done, whether it be the Native American genocide to start off, then, having African people, shipped here against their will and, enslaving them. And then, Jim Crow and also the Chinese Exclusion Act and just all of this other, insanely crazy shit. But let's see what this man has to say.
I'd say the worst thing about the conversation between myself and the left-wing supporter, I presume, so that's great, is that she purposely wouldn't exactly give me a chance to answer. She was trying to, let's say, spark an emotional response by what she was talking about was slavery. Because I guess she feels like, well, since I'm black, I have to relate to slavery, and that's got to be a hot button issue. Never mind the fact that I've never been a slave, don't know anyone, and I'm not a slave, of course. She asked me the question, on my hat, when was America great? I answered it like this. America has been great from the very start because this nation was founded on the principles of freeing us from tyranny. Okay, there were slaves and so forth, but there were a lot of people of all colors, let's say white, in this nation that did not feel like that was correct. And this nation from that time has been moving out of tyranny, from bondage in one way or another, whether it be from Britain or whether it be from slavery as a whole. In case she doesn't know, there was a civil war. And in part, I say in part, a whole lot of white people, if you look at history, died because they wanted this nation and people like myself to be free. I believe that. Wait a minute, let me get myself together.
Get it together, you're fine.
Because when you talk about this country, I do love the country. Because this nation gives you the right to move yourself up out of any poor, bad position that you're in like no other nation. While some nations might step on you and say, hey, you're going to stay like that, or they have the classism, we don't. What she's saying about this nation's horrible, basically saying, oh, it's just full of racism, and I should be stupid enough to believe that when I'm sitting right here and see people who are nice of all colors, that do things, work together, and this fool wants to take us back to a time when everyone hates each other.
This is, I truly have trouble understanding this because it amazes me that somebody who is, clearly African American, right, says, oh, yeah, sure, there was slavery, but, hey, they said that, there's the idea that everyone is endowed these certain inalienable rights by their creator, and it's like, okay, but don't you realize the direct contradiction of making that statement while also depriving African Americans of like any liberty or rights whatsoever? But the icing on the cake is that this dude is black. And it's like, how could you possibly make that statement? Because the irony levels is literally over 9,000 in this one. And it just, I don't understand it. If someone could please explain this to me, because I find it hard to believe anyone could possibly be this ironic and stupid at the same time.